You want to solve a problem? There's one simple solution. Stick it to Congress. Well, at least that is the case if you follow popular memes that float across Facebook. But is it actually true? Or does this meme need busted? Well, there are a couple of big memes and there are variations on them. First is the suggestion, we don't need to do anything to Social Security. What we need to do is we need to take away congressional pensions. This is often followed up with the idea that members of Congress, as soon as they are elected, once they leave, they get their full congressional salary for life. And that's something we need to fix, not worry about Social Security. The second one is regarding congressional benefits. If we want to fix health care, a big solution is we take away our taxpayer payments for members of Congress health care. And then they will have to fix health care in this country. Well, let's take a look at these two memes. Well, on the first one, congressional pension is often misstated. It's not true, simply put, that you get elected to Congress and then immediately you get full salary for the rest of your life. It's like any other job that has a pension program. Where you get elected, you pay into the pension until you leave, and then you receive payments after you leave based on how much you paid in. And you don't get it even immediately. Like if you're a first-term congressman and leave, you're not going to be eligible for a pension. You have to be in Congress at least 5 years, which is way too low, but still it's not getting paid everything for life. But the big problem, and this is the case with a lot of stick it to Congress memes, is it's an issue of scale. It's true that your average congressional pensioner gets more benefits than your average Social Security recipient. But the fact of the matter is that there are millions of Social Security recipients. Tens of millions of Social Security recipients. There are probably only a couple thousand people who get congressional pensions. So you're not going to fix anything in terms of the long-term fiscal crisis. Of course, there's an answer that there is a great deal of unfairness in making any changes to the Social Security program. And that's true. It's not fair. But we are in a situation where a lot of voters have kind of just allowed members of Congress to continue on with the myth that they cannot fix Social Security and everything's going to be fine. And something has to be done. And whatever is done, it should protect those as much as possible who are in the system or who are about to retire. But the longer that we wait, the harder the actual solution is going to be. And doing something with congressional pensions isn't going to fix anything. The healthcare one is interesting, but it brings up a big problem. You have the same problem of scale, but the big problem with the stick it to Congress idea, we should do this to Congress, is the power. We actually live in a republic, and in order to do something to Congress, we need legislative authority. And who's got legislative authority? Congress. And so Congress would have to vote to take away its own health insurance in order for this to actually come to pass. And you're not going to get members of Congress to do that. So it's not an actual credible solution. In fact, if you have a candidate running for Congress who says, we're going to get rid of all health subsidies for a member of Congress, they are either naive or they are being deceptive. They can go up to Washington, they can introduce the bill, and a committee chairman can file it away, and its action is never taken upon it. Either way, nothing is going to happen in that regards. And what you actually need, if you had members of Congress who were serious enough about this to take away congressional health subsidies, they would already fix the problem. You don't need to do this. These things are totally impractical, and they distract from real problems. And sometimes it's easier to focus on sticking it to Congress rather than actually solving things. Members of Congress, believe me, I'm not here to defend Congress by any means. They're full of people who exaggerate, who cast people's attentions off on things that are irrelevant so that they can do what they want to do, and they tell lies and falsehood and run on things that are absolutely ridiculous that won't solve anything, and they have all bunch of tricks to deceive us and to stop us from focusing on what actually matters. But we have to remember that we live in a representative republic, and if our Congress isn't everything it should be, what does that say about us?